Okay, imagine this for a second. You're traveling, maybe with your whole family, say 5 people, and you manage to feed everyone not just for one meal, but for the entire day on less cash than a single dinner back home might cost. And we're not talking about, sad, boring food here. We mean really fresh, lots of variety, genuinely tasty meals.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a pretty tall order, especially with kids in tow. But honestly, it's totally possible. I can vouch for that. It's actually the reality for a lot of folks who kind of lean into a certain way of eating when they travel. It really makes you rethink what's possible on a travel budget, doesn't it?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're heading over, figuratively speaking, to Chigang, to the markets there, specifically the Chiang Mai Gate morning market. Our goal here is to sort of unpack how this one family pulls it off, balancing the budget, getting amazing fresh food, diverse meals, and like a real cultural experience too. We want to pull out the practical stuff,
Yeah.
show how hitting the local markets can change your whole perspective on eating while traveling. Think of it as a bit of a shortcut, maybe to figuring out how to eat well, eat cheap, stay wealthy, and really connect with the local food scene. All right, let's get right into the money side of things because it's pretty staggering. Our sources are saying this family, 5 people, gets all the food they need for a whole day for under $20. Just let that sink in for a moment. Under $20.
Wow. Yeah, that figure really does shift your perspective. Especially when we think about it. I mean, back home, a dinner out for five, you're easily looking at, what, $100? $150, yeah, maybe more. So yeah, getting food for the whole day for under $20. It just shows the kind of economic power you find in local markets. It's not just saving a few dollars. It's like a completely different way of thinking about travel costs.
And it gets even better. Looking at their whole week, they feed the entire family, 5 people, for a full week on less than $70 or $80 total. And they actually describe it as eating like kings.
Right. And that phrase, eating like kings, it's interesting, isn't it? It's not about fancy restaurants or expensive ingredients in the way we usually think of luxury. Here, the king part is about like the sheer abundance, the incredible freshness you get, the variety, the quality of the food you can access within that, pretty modest budget. It kind of makes you, the listener, maybe question, how can you find that kind of quality and authenticity, not just low cost, when you travel? Looking for those direct sources, maybe a fish market right by the sea or a farmer's stand, appreciating the real deal.
So, okay, these numbers are amazing, but how? Where does all this incredible food actually come from? Which brings us to the market itself, right? The Chiang Mai Gate morning market.
Yeah, exactly. That market is, well, it's something else. It starts buzzing way before the sun's even up. And it's more than just a shop. It's this central hub where local farmers, producers, small vendors, they bring their stuff directly. That direct connection is absolutely key. You cut out the middlemen distributors, wholesalers, big stores, and boom, a huge chunk of the cost just disappears. That efficiency, that's why market prices can be so much lower than a supermarket. It's direct, benefits the locals, benefits the traveler. Win-win.
Okay, so when this family goes, what are they actually putting in their basket? Sounds like a pretty good haul. Lots of different vegetables, fruits, tofu, and importantly, a few sweet treats for the kids.
That list tells you a lot, actually. It shows they're focusing on fresh, probably seasonal plant-based stuff, which, especially in Southeast Asia, tends to be way cheaper and more sustainable than meat. And adding the sweet treats, it shows it's not about being super strict or miserable, right? It's about enjoying the little local things too, which is important for keeping everyone happy, especially on a family trip. It's really about using what's abundant and affordable right there, not trying to perfectly copy what you eat at home.
Right. So they've got this basket full of amazing stuff. Now, how does it become these frugal family feasts? What's actually on the menu day to day when you're eating like royalty for pennies? Because honestly, the meals they make sound fantastic.
Yeah.
Like fresh vegan pad grab pao. That's the spicy Thai basil stir fry, yeah. Or classic pad Thai.
Oh yeah, great choices. And it shows how you can take those amazing local ingredients and make dishes that are, familiar, but also incredibly fresh and vibrant. A lot of those classic Southeast Asian dishes are naturally packed with herbs and veggies anyway. The key thing is how they're using what's available, fitting it into the local style, but also meeting their own needs. It shows a real knack for working with the local food scene.
And it's not just Thai food. They're doing hearty rice dishes too, with dal lentil curry or black beans, red beans, piled high with veggies. Plus chapatis, those flatbreads with a spiced subji, like a vegetable curry. And listen to this for homemade treats. Cookies and muffins, baked right in their air fryer. Seriously, it makes you think though, how do they manage it all, planning-wise? For a whole week from one market trip, is it all mapped out or more like making it up as they go?
That's a really good question.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, cooking like this often needs a bit of both, I think. The sources suggest they're pretty flexible. They probably grab core things that work in lots of dishes. Rice, tofu, whatever veggies look good and cheap that day.
Yeah.
Those are the building blocks. Maybe they cook a big batch of beans or dal, use it in different ways over a few days, saves effort. And they probably adapt based on what the market offers best that morning, that improvisation. It actually helps use everything up, less waste, more variety, because you're rolling with what's freshest. It's kind of embracing that seasonality.
Makes sense. And protein-wise, especially when you're traveling, keeping energy up. What's the secret weapon there?
Ah, yes, good point. The source specifically mentions lots of tofu as their protein powerhouse in that region. And that's a huge tip for anyone traveling on a budget who wants to eat well. Tofu is just incredibly versatile. Soaks up flavor like a sponge, perfect for curries, stir fries, and crucially, it's everywhere and super cheap there. It's packed with nutrients, gives you that essential protein without the cost of meat. Ideal for making lots of different healthy, affordable meals. It's a perfect example of using local resources smartly. So, okay, the money saving is huge, obviously, but it's really clear there's way more to it than just the cost. They emphasize they're eating fresher, healthier, and with way more variety than you'd expect. Yeah, what's behind that? Beyond just the price? Well, that's where buying direct from the market really shines. When you get produce from a morning market, chances are it was picked, like yesterday, maybe even that morning. So you're getting peak freshness, peak nutrients, peak flavor, stuff that just doesn't survive the long journey to a typical supermarket shelf. You sidestep a lot of the travel food traps, processed stuff, prepackaged things, or restaurant food that can be heavy on fat or sugar. This is just vibrant, real food.
And it's not only about the food on the plate, is it? The whole experience around the market sounds pretty special, too. They talk about seeing familiar faces, being able to chat with vendors who know me by name, just soaking in the sounds and smells of the morning rush. It sounds less like shopping and more like a ritual.
Absolutely. And that's where it gets really profound, I think. The shopping stops being just, buying things. It turns into this genuine cultural immersion. When you go back to the same vendors, you start building little connections. You learn things about local life, maybe pick up a few words. You become part of that daily flow. It's a real slice of life. The noise, the smells, the colors, just talking to people, that kind of thing. It makes the travel experience so much richer than just hitting the tourist spots. It's about connection, understanding, kind of belonging for a little while. You just can't buy that in a restaurant.
So putting it all together, this Chiang Mai story, what does it really mean for you listening right now? How does hitting up local markets save cash? Yes. But also, deepen your understanding of a place through its food. Because, let's be honest, for a lot of us, cooking in a new place, navigating a busy market, maybe not speaking the language, it can feel a bit intimidating. It's like a baby step someone could take. To try this without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? This whole story makes you wonder, when we plan our trips, our budgets, are we missing out? Are we overlooking these richer, healthier, more real experiences by just sticking to restaurants or the familiar grocery store routine? And your point about intimidation is totally valid. So a first step, it could be super simple. Just go to one local market. Maybe you only buy one piece of fruit. Or try a snack from one of the stalls selling prepared food. Just walk around, look, listen, use your senses. Maybe learn how to say how much. That alone starts to break down the barrier, makes it feel less scary. It challenges us, to look beyond the usual and connect differently.
Yeah. This deep dive into Chiang Mai's markets, it really leaves you with some powerful ideas. It shows that these local spots, like the Gate Market, offer just incredible value. You get amazing fresh food for way less than you'd expect, and it lets you eat diverse, healthy, really delicious meals while basically jumping right into an authentic cultural experience. It's like a win-win-win. Good for your wallet, good for your health, good for actually understanding the place you're visiting.
Exactly. And maybe, as you think about your own next trip, wherever that might be, just mull this over. What kind of hidden food treasures, what unexpected connections might be waiting for you in a local market somewhere? Perhaps the biggest savings aren't just the money. Maybe it's the memories, the fresh viewpoints, the deeper understanding you get just by engaging with a place through its food.